The Treasure in an Old Clay Pot, Part 1. One of the most remarkable epistle of the Apostle Paul is found in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellence of the power might be of God and not of us. Under the law and the kingdom gospel, it was men who had the power. Jesus said to his disciples, "These signs shall follow them that believe. In my name they shall cast out devils, they shall speak with new tongues, they shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover." Christ gave unlimited power to these disciples. It was their power to use as they saw fit. This was under the law, but now when grace came, there was a totally different program for humans. Christ would no longer be outside of believers giving them power or special gifts. He would be inside of them, and the excellence of power would be of God, particularly God's Son. Paul would deal with this especially in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the love chapter, and say that everything, including power for a believer to prophesy or speak in tongues or have great knowledge, would pass away, and the perfect would come. What is perfect? The perfect is Christ living in human bodies or earthen vessels. Before the knowledge of Christ in you, believers think they have the power of God for themselves, not knowing that it is Christ in them who does the works and has the power. I believe that when Christ said, "After the Holy Spirit is come upon you, you shall receive power," he was referring to Paul's forthcoming message of Christ being in the believer. Also, times has proven that believers do not necessarily come to the knowledge of the Christ life until sometime later on in their Christian experience, especially if they have a background of Pentecostalism or kingdom teaching. It takes time and diligence for true believers to move from themselves being gifted to Christ as their lives. Sadly, there are some who think when we say this, we do not believe in the power of God for today. Yet we still see the sick healed, devils are still cast out, the gifts of revelation still operate, but it is not us. It is Christ in us, and it is not our faith. It is His faith. Because it is not our life, it is His life. With this knowledge, we are ready to see how amazing grace is. Every born again believer has all that God could give a human the moment he is saved. Even those who criticize miracles, those who make light of God's power today, and those who preach against God working in their lives today, have the same Jesus in them as all others that are saved. We have His limited power but remain ignorant in His grace. Strange that people would fight against something they themselves possess. Grace says that the excellence of power is of God and not man. We have heard preachers say that they cannot perform miracles. It is Christ doing the work. But then they say, especially when they are raising an offering, that the people ought to back and support their ministry. Grace, when understood, proves that the ministry is not man's, but Christ living in the old clay pot. To God be the glory. God bless you.